6 years ago, I wanted to add another source of income, so I created this YouTube channel. But content creation isn't the only side gig you can start. So in this video, I want to cover some side gigs you can do to earn money from home in Germany. But before we talk about making money, there's one thing you need to check first. You can skip this part, but if you don't want to lose your visa, please don't skip it. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Essen, and on this channel, we discuss how to build wealth in Germany. So if you're an EU or EEA citizen, you generally have access to the German labor market. If you're a non-EU citizen, check your residence permit and the conditions on it. You might see something like Erwerbstätigkeit gestattet, which generally means you're allowed to work in Germany, including self-employment. But permits can also contain restrictions. You might only be allowed to work for a specific employer or in a specific type of role. So don't make any assumptions. If your permit contains restrictions or you're not sure what the wordings mean, check with your Ausländerbehörde before starting anything. To start your side gig, you can become self-employed as a Freiberufler or operate a Gewerbe. And there's an important distinction here. The English word freelancer does not automatically mean Freiberufler under the German tax law. You could be freelancing on Upwork or Fiverr and still be legally running a Gewerbe. So it depends on what you're actually doing. If you qualify as a Freiberufler, you normally don't register a Gewerbe. You register your activity with the Finanzamt through the Fragebogen zur steuerliche Erfassung in Elster. If you're running a commercial business, you register with your local Gewerbeamt first, then complete the tax registration separately. There are different types of business registrations, but I won't cover them in this video. Let's start with the first side gig you can start in Germany. In the era of token and agent maxing, it's getting very easy to ship quickly. You can create an app or an AI-based service essentially overnight. This brings new opportunities to anyone who wants to earn something on the side. You can test and implement many ideas and products, but unfortunately, it's not that easy to monetize these things. Yes, you can make something, but getting customers is very difficult. On top of that, doing this correctly also takes a lot of time. Okay, you know how to build an app or an AI-based service. The most common problem you guys have shared with me is the visa limitation. Most of you having these issues are either a student, have a blue card, or have a conflict of interest with your main job. As a student, it's quite straightforward. You need to contact your local Ausländerbehörde and get permission from them. You don't need permission to build something, but to sell your product or service, special permission and registration would be required. Blue card holders have to look at what's written on their card and their additional documents. Some are allowed to work, others are not. And for people having a conflict of interest with their main job, I think they need two things. First, you need to clearly document what your intended app or service will be and exactly how a conflict of interest between your main job and this app or service can be minimized or eliminated. Once you have this document, you can take it to your supervisor and discuss it with them. Maybe they can help you or they will direct you to a company process or the HR. In any case, you need an additional approval letter from the HR to explicitly say that this idea or plan does not conflict with your main job. Or even if there is a conflict, they allow you to work on it. Only then should you look to monetize that app or service. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a dedicated video on this topic. Next, we have freelancing. People have been using platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and Freelancer to work on a wide range of services. Video editing, programming, website development, social media management, and now plenty of AI related work as well. But I want to be honest with you here. Having done this myself, getting the first few clients is usually the hardest part. You can be excellent at what you do, but starting from zero means competing with someone who already has hundreds of reviews and is willing to work for 10 times less than the hourly rate here in Germany. So you cannot compete on price. You have to compete on quality, which means prior experience. If you don't have any experience, you will struggle to make a decent income. So in the beginning, it's all about building a portfolio, landing a few solid clients, and collecting reviews. Now, working through Fiverr or Upwork doesn't make you a German Freiberufler. Your legal classification depends on what you're actually doing. You could offer your services as a freelancer to companies in Germany, and German companies really like this because freelancers are usually cheaper compared to full-time employees. But be careful if you already have a full-time job. This can create a conflict of interest with your main employer. Let me know in the comments if you want me to cover this in detail or if you have any questions questions regarding this. And please hit the like button if you're getting value from this video and consider subscribing. Okay, next we have affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is probably the easiest way to start making money online, because affiliate marketing means recommending a product or a service and earning a commission when someone buys through your link. The company gives you a trackable link, someone clicks it, buys the product, and you get paid a small amount in commission. To start making money with affiliate marketing, you need to build an audience. You can build a website, a YouTube channel, a newsletter, an Instagram account, or a TikTok account. And finding an affiliate program is usually not that difficult, but getting people to trust your recommendation is tough. Now, a few recommendations here and there don't require a business registration, but if you're doing it systematically like most influencers, then you need to register your activity. And according to European law, you also have to declare this on your page. Unfortunately, most of the influencers in Germany do this illegally, as they create content and promote products but never declare their connections. Next is digital products. I used to like this model in the past. You create something once and potentially sell it repeatedly without producing a physical item each time. But ever since AI has made creating these things easy, it's very difficult to create digital products that bring new value. That said, if you have a skill you can teach, you can package it and sell it on platforms like Udemy or through your own website. You could also publish on Amazon. Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing lets you self-publish ebooks and printed books without upfront fees. If you're a programmer or designer, website templates, plugins, themes, and design assets used to follow the same logic. But it's getting very difficult in the AI age we have right now. Since we're talking about small businesses, Germany has the Kleinunternehmerregelung. Under the current rules, there is a VAT exemption if your turnover in the previous year didn't exceed 25,000 euros and your turnover in the current year does not exceed 100,000 euros. You will still owe income tax on your profit, and if you run a Gewerbesteuer must also be paid after a certain profit level. One of the most accessible options is teaching or tutoring. You could teach German, English, music, or practically any subject where you have useful knowledge, one-to-one or in group classes online via Zoom or similar tools. Now, the most common thing I have seen people do is teach German language. It has a huge market and people are willing to pay. Unfortunately, most people do this illegally as well. They get the students to pay in their local currency and never declare their income here in Germany. According to law, one has to declare all sources of income even if that income is not earned in Germany. Anyhow, teaching activities can often qualify as freiberufliche activities, meaning you may not need a Gewerbeanmeldung. But there's something many people miss. Certain self-employed teachers, trainers, and coaches can be subject to compulsory German statutory pension insurance. So make sure to get all the facts. My favorite side gig to start in Germany is YouTube and content creation. Starting this channel was one of the most interesting things I have done. And I still think content creation is one of the best businesses you can start on the side. You don't have to be an established expert to start, but it does help if you have expertise in a field. Even if you aren't an expert, you can always share your life experiences. Share how you came to Germany, how you are learning the German language, or just try different things and see what sticks with the audience. The process itself is often interesting to people going through something similar. That said, YouTube is not instant money. For advertising revenue through the YouTube Partner Program, you currently need 1,000 subscribers plus either 4,000 public hours in the previous 12 months or 10 million valid public short views in the previous 90 days. There's also an expanded partner program that gives creators early access to certain additional features. It took me 6 months to get into the YouTube Partner Program, but you could start earning quicker than that. Selling homemade food is probably the most popular side business idea in the expat community. Cakes, meal prep, catering, traditional food, and desserts. I've seen plenty of people selling through WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. But food is the one area in this video where you really need to understand the rules before you start. If you regularly produce or sell food commercially, you're operating a food business and you need to register with the relevant food control authority, plus a Gewerbeanmeldung for the commercial activity. For the hygiene side, if your work involves food handling covered by the Infection Protection Act, you need the required instructions under the Section 43 of Infektionsschutzgesetz before starting. The initial certificate must not be older than 3 months when you begin. After that, there are continual inspection obligations. Depending on what you produce, additional food hygiene training may also apply. On the kitchen itself, a home kitchen isn't automatically illegal, but your premises and production process have to meet applicable hygiene requirements. The local Lebensmittelüberwachung decides whether your setup is acceptable or not. Depending on what you produce, the scale of operation, and how the kitchen is also used privately, you may require better separation between private and commercial activity, specific washing facilities, proper storage, temperature control, and other hygienic measures. Your landlord and building regulations may create additional restrictions if part of your residential property is being used commercially. So if you're serious about this, before buying equipment or accepting 20 biryani offers for Saturday, contact your local Lebensmittelüberwachung and explain exactly what you want to produce and where. That conversation can save you a significant amount of trouble. Creating an Instagram page and accepting payments doesn't turn your kitchen into a legal food business, but done correctly, this can absolutely work. Making your first 100 euros online is one thing. Building a legal business around that income is another. Check what your residence permit allows. Figure out whether your activity is a Gewerbe or Freiberuf. Register it correctly and don't ignore taxes just because the money arrives through PayPal or Stripe or a foreign company. If you're interested in starting a business in Germany, you can watch this video.